warm good morning to one and all. Today is the first day of Diksharam, our postgraduate student induction program. This program, designed with a purpose and a vision, is primarily to welcome our dear students to the CMS College community. So, first of all, a hearty welcome to all the dear students who chose to be with CMS. We understand that the transition from undergraduation to post-graduation is one of the important milestones in your life. We also know that you might have in your mind umpteen number of questions regarding the new place, its ways of functioning, the courses, and so many other things. And some of us might be a bit hesitant about it all. Let me tell you that no matter how much we want things to stay the same, life is all about change. We have to trust that it is for good and steer our journey to the desired destinations. CMS College considers it our responsibility to convince you that you made the right decision, and this induction program will serve the purpose as the days will take you through a tour of all that you would like to know about the college. As you are on the threshold of your years in CMS, let me assure you that your years here are going to be enriching and fruitful. The induction program intends to acclimatize our students to the new environment, to help you adopt to the new surroundings and roles, to develop bonds with fellow students and faculty members, and to expose you to a sense of larger purpose and self-exploration. We are fortunate to have Sri Jayakumar IAS to inaugurate the meeting and to deliver the keynote address. We also have our Principal Dr. Verghese C. Joshua, Vice Principal Sini Rachel Matthew, Bursar Cherian Thomas, Admission Officer Dr. Sam Kuti George, and PG Admissions Coordinator Dr. Ambali P. Matthew with us. With immense pleasure, I welcome all the dignitaries, students, parents, faculty members, and the staff to the first day of the induction program. Our IQAC coordinator, Dr. Joji John Panikar, has also joined us. I welcome him to this meeting. We will start with a prayer. Prayer is not just an opportunity to ask, but also an occasion to thank Almighty for all that He has blessed us with. As we commence our induction program today, we thank God for bringing all of you to us and seek His blessings as we are embarking on this new journey. Our bursar, Reverend Cherian Thomas Achin, will lead us in prayer.
പ്രാർത്ഥിക്കാം. യഹോവക്തി ജ്ഞാനത്തിൻ്റെ ആരംഭമാവുന്നു. അവയെ ആചരിക്കുന്ന എല്ലാവർക്കും നല്ല ബുദ്ധിയുണ്ട്. ദൈവമായ കർത്താവേ, സ്വർഗീയ പിതാവേ, പ്രതിസന്ധികളുടെയും പ്രതികൂലങ്ങളുടെയും മധ്യത്തിലും ഒരധ്യയന വർഷം ആരംഭിക്കുവാൻ അവിടുന്ന് സഹായിച്ച കൃപകൾക്കായി സ്തോത്രം ചെയ്യുന്നു. കർത്താവേ, കാലാകാലങ്ങളിലായി ഈ സ്ഥാപനം അനേകർക്ക് ജ്ഞാനം പകർന്നു കൊടുക്കുവാൻ അവിടുന്ന് സഹായിച്ചു. ഈ പട്ടണത്തിൻ്റെ, ഈ ദേശത്തിൻ്റെ അനുഗ്രഹമായി അവിടെ നിലനിർത്തിയിരിക്കുന്നതിനാൽ നന്ദിയോട് സ്തോത്രം ചെയ്യുന്നു. കാലാകാലങ്ങൾ നേതൃത്വം വഹിച്ചവർ, പഠിച്ചതായ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ടവർ എല്ലാവരെയും ഞങ്ങൾ ഓർക്കുന്നു. കർത്താവേ, ഈ കാലങ്ങൾ നേതൃത്വം വഹിക്കുന്നവരെയും പഠിപ്പിക്കുന്ന എല്ലാ അധ്യാപകർക്ക് വേണ്ടി പ്രാർത്ഥിക്കുകയാണ്. ദൈവജ്ഞാനത്താൽ നിറയ്ക്കണമേ. പ്രത്യേകം പോസ്റ്റ് ഗ്രാജുവേഷനായി വരുന്ന എല്ലാ കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളെയും ഞങ്ങൾ ഓർക്കുന്നു. വിവിധ സ്ഥാനങ്ങളിലും സ്ഥലങ്ങളിൽ നിന്ന് വരുന്നവർക്ക് ഈ ക്യാമ്പസ് ഒരനുഗ്രഹമായി തീരുവാനും ജീവിതത്തിലെ ലക്ഷ്യത്തിൻ്റെ സാക്ഷാത്കാരമായി തീരുവാൻ അവിടുന്ന് സഹായിക്കണമേ. ഗസ്റ്റായി സംബന്ധിക്കുന്ന ജയസംഘ സാറിന് വേണ്ടിയും പ്രാർത്ഥിക്കുന്നു. എല്ലാവരെയും നിൻ്റെ കരങ്ങൾ താഴ്ത്തുന്നു. നന്മകളും കൃപകളും നൽകണം. ഈ അധ്യയന വർഷം ഏറ്റവും അനുഗ്രഹത്തിൻ്റെയും സന്തോഷത്തിൻ്റെയും നന്മയുടെയും കാലമാക്കി തീർക്കണം. കർത്താവും രക്ഷിതവുമായ യേശു മെശിഹ മൂലം ഞങ്ങൾ അപേക്ഷിക്കുന്നു. ആമേൻ.
As our chief guest has another meeting to attend at 10, we are straight away moving to the inauguration and keynote address. The note from the admission officer and the principal will follow that. Sri Jayakumar IAS served the Indian Administrative Service for 34 long years. It is indeed a privilege to have Sir, a senior bureaucrat and a writer of repute, to inaugurate our program and to deliver the keynote address. He served as Chief Secretary, Government of Kerala till October 2012 and the founding Vice Chancellor of Tunjathirthachan Malayalam University at Tirur from 2012 to 2017. His brilliance does not cease with administration and academia, but extends to the creative terrain as well. The multifaceted genius is a poet, lyricist, translator, author, and painter. Sir has translated Tagore, Khalil Gibran, Rumi, Omar Khayyam, and Kabir into Malayalam, and Geeta Govindam and ONV's poems into English, and this speaks volumes about his caliber. He has wrote over 400 songs in Malayalam, including songs in over 100 Malayalam films. Words fall short to introduce this genius. On behalf of CMS College community, I welcome you, sir, to this meeting. I welcome you to inaugurate the Induction Program 2021 and to deliver the keynote address. We are eagerly waiting to listen to your golden words, sir.
That I'm jumping the queue even before the presidential address. I have requested that I may be allowed to speak first because I have another function to reach. It's at 10 o'clock. I got it postponed to 10:30. So I will sign off from this program around 10 o'clock. But it is a pleasure to be associated with CMS College on a very auspicious occasion like this, when all your, I think, 21 PG courses are commencing today. It's not a small achievement that after the COVID-induced restrictions and lockdowns and all that, after 18 months, the colleges in Kerala are coming back to life today. Actually, I would have preferred to come to Kottayam and do a physical program rather than hide in this screen given by Google Meet. Anyway, something is better than nothing. And this technology has really helped us through the dull days of the COVID. In fact, without this, one would have felt totally isolated from the world because of this Google Meet and other platforms. Even I have been able to relate with several people across the world during this difficult period of the last 18 to 20 months. Anyway, that is beside the point. Now, CMS College is an institution which always inspires confidence. It gives a sense of pride in every one of us who is interested in the education sector in Kerala, particularly the higher education sector in Kerala. CMS College, with its long tradition, has always lived up to its prestige and its name. Today, the very fact that you thought of having an induction program like this for the newly admitted postgraduate students of these 21 batches is indeed a testimony to the fact that you take this very seriously. And that is precisely what I also would like to reflect, or rather communicate to the students who are entering the postgraduate institution today, postgraduate education today. That is, you have covered your +2 and your degree course, and you are now entering the PG. We have I'm not talking like a student. I'm not talking like a former vice chancellor or a former bureaucrat, but as a student, I'm just recalling my mindset when you enter a new course. What is it that we want out of the course? We want to win the course. To become successful, we have to complete the course with laurels, with good grades, good rank, and probably do a PhD after that, and probably clear your NET exam and all that, and become a college assistant professor in a college, and subsequently duly retire as a professor. It's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that this is not good, and this is what you should do. And all of you may not be able to do this. Nevertheless, people do a lot of things after the post graduation. Now, what I'm saying is this mindset of the practical dimensions of my education. What am I going to do after my post graduation? That, of course, is a practical aspect. I'm not saying that you should run away from it. With one half of your mind, please be aligned to the practical realities of your life and try to make your life as comfortable and secure as possible. I have nothing against it. In fact, everybody should be doing that. If you don't do it, who is going to do it? So, I'm not saying that you should not be practical in life, but along with your one side of the brain looking after your practical success in life, like what you are going to do after the PG, how are you going to come up in life? After all, PG, when you are doing your PG, you are already completed 20 years or you are entering your 20, 21, 22 or whatever. You are becoming a senior student. The point I am trying to make is that the attitude with which we covered our graduate programs is one thing. But when you come to post graduation, those attitudes towards your subject should be set aside. Just leave it. If you look at the process of education, we started from LKG, UKG, or whatever. Then you go to school where you study a lot of things. You study science, you study humanities, you study language, you study mathematics, isn't it? Then you go to plus two, there is some kind of a selection. You don't study everything. If you're taking humanities, you don't study science, you don't study mathematics. Then you come to the graduation where the specialization is slightly more defined. Now you come to PG where your specialization is almost final. You have now zeroed in on a particular area where you are going to specialize. This attitude of being a specialist in a particular subject is what should guide you. That should be the guiding force when you enter PG course, PG program. The mindset that you had when you did your plus two or your BA or BSc should be cast aside. Now you are a specialist. Once you complete your post graduation, you are a master of that particular subject. But unfortunately, we take along with us the earlier attitude, which most of the schools encourage. There is a plus syndrome, as I would say. That is the art of writing examination. Art of writing examination is not the art of education. Education is something different from the art of writing examination. Most of our schools, what they really make the students competent is not competency in the particular subjects, but the art of writing examination. So much so you get A plus in all subjects. Education is something different. At least in the stage of post graduation, let us shed all these inhibitions or rather preconceived notions. I said at the beginning, like a caveat, I'm not saying that you forget about your future. Please plan for your future with your one part of the brain, from your pragmatic part. But with the other part of the brain, become a romantic fellow. When I say romantic, I'm not saying in the normal kind of thing, but a romantic fellow is an adventurist also. He takes risks. He is a dream driven fellow. So, in your engagement with your subject, you should be adventurous. You should be in love with that subject. This is something which I keep on saying. At the postgraduate level, you cannot afford to learn the subject casually for examination purpose, but be in deep love with the subject. I'm not saying that everything happening in the West is best. Unfortunately, most of the foreign universities, particularly in the UK and the US, they are trailblazers. Today I read in the newspaper that is in 2019, 7.5 lakhs of Indian students have gone to foreign universities, particularly Canada, US, and UK. I think it is in today's Manorama. 7 lakhs of students. There are so many pull factors and push factors. But apart from the economic pull factors, there is an academic factor. There is a general perception that the quality of education in foreign universities is better. There is a perception. I'm not saying that that is correct. There is a perception. I studied in UK in one of the UK universities for 1 year. After I ended my IAS, we were sent for a 1 year British Council scholarship program. I did a post-graduation in development studies from the University of Bath. That gave me an opportunity to find out how it is different, how a foreign university is different. They are also just like us. We are slightly more intelligent than most of these Western students. That is, I can vouch it. We are slightly more intelligent, more practical. But where do we lack? We lack in the atmosphere of the school, of the college, the classroom. In the classroom, even today, there could be differences from college to college, from class to class, teacher to teacher. But most of the time, even today, even in PG classes, it is a teacher trying to tell the student a lot of things about that particular subject. And the student is a receptacle. So he or she studies, prepares very well for the exam, writes the exam. He might become a rank holder in university. That doesn't mean that the master of arts or master of science, which he or she becomes, is justified. If you have to be really a master, your engagement with the subject should not be confined only to the examination part. That is what I was trying to say, and that is where I said become romantic, be in love with the subject. Being in love with the subject means you have to transcend, you have to go beyond the syllabus. When I say this, the teacher should not twitch their eyebrows. Whereas a teacher is trying to confine, or rather is guided by the syllabus, it's a university or autonomous colleges in Kerala doesn't have that kind of autonomy. But whatever the syllabus says is mostly regarded as sacrosanct. I'm not saying that it is not sacrosanct. It is. It is. But it is only a guidepost. It's only a signpost. Or rather, it sets a boundaries. This is roughly the area that you should study. The subject doesn't get confined to the syllabus. Syllabus rather confines the subject. The subject is not confined by the syllabus. Most of the time, students get confined by the syllabus. Our national education policy to 2020, about which I have personal difference of opinion with the policy, but it has some bright spots. One of the bright spots is that it says education should come out of the shackles of the limited transactions and equip the students to meet the challenges of the 21st century. And India should become a knowledge hub. All these pious wishes are there. How it is going to be done, we really don't know. But one of the points, which we have to bear in mind, is that it talks about our existing universities becoming non-affiliating universities, and the colleges becoming more and more autonomous, not only autonomous, to the extent of becoming universities themselves. I do not want to go into the details of that. Our universities affiliating system has its own plus and minuses, but then giving autonomy and making every college into a university has its own pros and cons. In Kerala, things might be better, but everywhere it is not so. A college in Bihar or UP run by some local goon can also become a university granting degree to everybody. Who is going to recognize this degree? Even with universities trying to restrict and regulate, many of the university degrees are questionable. Now with the questionable colleges becoming universities, what is the quality and credibility of our university degrees is something to be thought about. So these are my differences of opinion with the policy, because policy is good in ideals but bad in practice. What I'm trying to say is the policy visualizes a situation whereby the confines of the syllabus have to become loose, and interdepartmental, subjects, or what's that, interdisciplinary education is being encouraged in the new education, the national education policy 2020. Let us forget about the practicalities, but the idea of becoming an postgraduate or a university education becoming more and more interdisciplinary is something which we can definitely get the benefit out of it. I was saying that we have to break the fences of the syllabus, which teachers might disagree with me. But I said when I went to a foreign university, the kind of pedagogy that they were engaging, or the kind of style, the style of the classroom business, was something which was new to me. I went there after doing my MA in English literature. I did my journalism also. I got into IAS after 7 or 8 years in the IAS. I went to this UK university. The first thing that shocked me was I was never trained, I realized, in the art of academic writing. So the first assignments were given to us. Among the ranking of A, B, C, D, I was given a D. I was shocked. I'm a writer, I am an English literature gold medalist, I am an IAS fellow. So I went and interrogated, or rather challenged my professor, saying that Mr. So and so, he had forbade us from calling them sir. He said, I'm not knighted. Call me Edward. So I asked Mr. Edward, you had given me a D. Why? Is my English so bad? Am I not articulate enough? Don't I communicate? He said, you do all these things, but this is not the way an academic article should be written. You might be a good journalist. Your style is that of a journalist. How does it differ? He said, a journalist can write so many things without substantiating, whereas in an academic article, whatever you write has to be substantiated. And substantiation means you have to do the proper reference. Academic writing is not where you can freely give your opinion like our political leaders, making speeches. They don't have to, nobody asks for what is the evidence. Whereas in academic writing, it has to be supported by proper referencing. So that was one of the things I learned. Then secondly, he only introduces subject, saying that there are a lot of contradictions in this. So and so has contradicted this way. So and so has opposed this. So this is the broad parameters of the subject. Probably you would like to read up such and such books. So we will discuss about this, the various points of view in the next class. So we have to rush to the library, read all of them, take our own point, make our own point of view, and go to the class for a discussion. At the end of the discussion, that particular subject has outgrown the syllabus, and you become an expert. At least you think that you have become an expert, where you know the different points of view, and also you know where that particular subject is standing today. Where has it reached? That is where I have my difference of opinion with our Kerala universities, because you really do not know from the syllabus what is the frontier where that particular subject has reached today. In economics, every year people get Nobel Prize, but it doesn't become part of our syllabus. Need not be. You cannot change your syllabus that fast. But then in the classroom of economics, the discussion should be why so and so has been given Nobel Prize for economics. What is his theory? And what is the background of this theory? Who are the precursors of this theory? And how is it related to our syllabus? Where does the syllabus stop and where do we go beyond? Now, that kind of excitement, there is a lot of excitement in the academic circles in the West. And that is why when it comes to Nobel Prize and all that, our Indian universities are seldom even considered, because nothing much happens of that level. Things happen, but not of that level. Basically, we should be a postgraduate student, and research students should have their eyes fixed at the frontier of that subject, not in the local frontiers that we set for ourselves, but the frontier of the subject, international frontier of the subject. We should not be outsiders to what is happening in the mainstream academic paradigm that is working today. If you are studying literature and you are talking about post-colonial theory or whatever, let us know what is happening today. And you have the media, you have the internet, everything today with us. Unlike some 30 years or 40 years ago, you can keep pace with whatever is happening in the world of academia today. Why should we deny it to our students? And that is the way by which the whole idea of post-graduation should be to empower the student, transcend the limitations of the syllabus as well as his own limitation, his own perceived limitations. ഞാൻ മലയാളത്തിൽ സംസാരിക്കണം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാണ് തുടങ്ങിയത് കേട്ടോ. ഇനിപ്പോട്ടെ അതിൽ എത്രയായാലും we should encourage the student not only to transcend is the word, he has to outgrow his own perceived limitations of himself or herself as well as the perceived limitations of the syllabus. He should just throw away the boundaries and go beyond it, come back to it and write the exam, because the exam is it takes place within the boundary, and once you have gone to the frontier, your exam becomes child's play. You don't have to spend sleepless night over the exam if you know what is happening in the frontiers. Therefore, and transcending oneself, transcendence is the word I would like to underline today. Transcending oneself. Why is that transcendence becomes important? Because if my interaction with students in my university, as well as my university means Malayalam University, or other students wherever I have been, people try to think very small about themselves. Their family background, their economic background, the position of their family, the social position of their family, their financial difficulties, family problems. Compared with others, I don't have this, I don't have that. I have lot kinds of limitations. Like somebody sitting in a room sees only the window bars, whereas a poet will be looking at the sky and trying to fly into the sky. Likewise, don't be constrained by the window bars. Young students, young girls and boys should look at the sky and not at the window bars that confine them. Most of the time when I have interacted with the students, I felt very sorry that they are stifling themselves by the real, that these limitations are real. I'm not saying that they are imaginary limitations. The financial difficulties of the family, that is real. All kinds of problems, they are all real issues. But then we have a mind which is not confined by these physical limitations. Free your mind, free your imagination. And with that kind of freedom, transcend your barriers that society has built upon you, your society, everything must be trying to limit you. Education is the counter process by breaking away these limitations and trying to transcend your own preconceived limitations and barriers. Education is all about that. I will conclude it by just reminding you about Mahatma Gandhi, who had all limitations in his life. What did he have? Is he as handsome as Sanjay Dutt or Amitabh Bachchan or even younger stars? He was not a very attractive person physically. He was not very tall, not very hefty, no six-pack and all that. He appeared in the Rajkot court for the first time with his case. He writes himself that I sweated all over. I didn't know, I would have fainted in the court. So I pretended that I'm not well, gave the whole case file to a fellow judge, fellow advocate sitting nearby, said, I'm not feeling well. It's a very simple case. Could you argue it? That fellow argued and he won the case. Had Gandhi argued, the case would have been lost anyway. So he said, I was so shy, I could not get up. I would have fainted. It is that Gandhi, with all his limitations, how did he overcome? How did he transcend? How did he get over the limitations of his personality, his appearance, his language? Everything is against him. And the British Raj, the imposing British Raj. How that man, by his sheer magic of his personality, transformed the whole world, I should say. Even today, I'm talking about Gandhi with a lot of zest. Why? Because here is a case of transcendence. Even Jesus Christ is another case of transcendence. What did he have? He was not part of the Roman Empire. Roman Empire had all authority, but it is Christ who transcended. Roman Empire perished. It is all a question of your self-will and self-confidence. I think as postgraduate students, the country looks upon you to give contributions in that particular field. Whatever field you have chosen, be experts, be specialists, be masters, transcend yourself, transcend your limitations, and empower yourself so that you can contribute to the society, to that particular branch of academics. I should congratulate you for joining a wonderful college with a long tradition of academic brilliance. I congratulate CMS College for organizing this program. I apologize for signing up immediately and rushing to the next program. Sooner than later, if you invite me, I shall come there personally and talk to your students. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jayakumar sir, for your words of wisdom. I'm sure that your presence and words are the perfect welcome gift that we can give to our students as they are being a part of this legacy of learning. We are now going back to the program schedule. Dr. Samkuti George, the head of the Department of Commerce SF, functioned as the admission officer. Sir and his team never lost their cool even when we all knew that the process was very demanding and tiring. Sir, it is my pleasure to invite you to deliver the welcome speech.
Good morning. Respected Principal and Chairman of the meeting, Dr. Varghese Joshua, the Chief Guest of the day, most respectful Sri K. Jayakumar IAS, Reverend Cherian Thomas Berser of the college, Co-Admission Officer Dr. Ambli P. Thomas, IQC Coordinator Dr. Joji Panikar, dear colleagues, my dear students, good morning and warm welcome to the one and all. Once again, we are conducting our PG induction program online. Last year, we have conducted this program online due to the COVID pandemic. Postgraduate study is a transition stage in the life of a student. You will become more serious, you will become more bold and more courageous, and take serious decisions about your life, your future, etc. It is one of the important milestones in the life of a student. The higher education institutions play a most important role in molding the future of a student. At the outset, as a Chief Admission Officer, I would like to congratulate and welcome you all to the first college in India, that is CMS College, Kottayam. I know that you are very anxiously waiting for the new environment, which will become the most important time in your life. You are coming to CMS College Autonomous, which has a long tradition of 204 years, which cannot be claimed by any other institutions in India. The culture of Kerala is indebted to the light given by the missionaries who came to Kerala and started a college in Kottayam named after CMS College. This induction program is aimed at giving an insight to various programs to familiarize CMS environment, the programs offered, the autonomy system, how it works, the examination system, the evaluation system, especially those who are coming from the non-autonomous colleges. It also aims at familiarizing the opportunities after the completion of a PG program. As the admission officer, it is my duty to welcome you all to CMS College. The chairman of the meeting is our principal, Dr. Varghese Joshua. He is a visionary person and a very enthusiastic person. And with this initiative, CMS College has placed the 93rd rank in the NIRF. I am confident that he is capable of leading this great institution for a couple of years. On behalf of all those who assembled here as well as through online media, I express a warm welcome to you, sir. The most important attraction of this meeting is the keynote address. Jayakumar sir has already enlightened and enriched us with his words. He has attended he has to attend some urgent program. That is why he has there was a minor change in the schedule. I am proud and happy to welcome most respectful Sri Jayakumar IAS. Even in absence, I would like to welcome him. He is a senior IAS officer who retired from his service as the Chief Secretary of Kerala. During his career, he has held so many key positions in various levels in the state as well as in the central. He is honored with various awards and recognitions in his career for his distinguished service as a bureaucrat. He is also famous as a Malayali poet, lyricist, painter, translator, and a scriptwriter. He has written lyrics for more than 100 Malayalam films and large number of songs for albums and TV and radio. He has also authored more than 25 books and a number of translations in his credit. He has served as the founding Vice Chancellor of Tunjathezhuthachan Malayalam University. We are actually privileged to get his presence and hear his words in this induction program. Even in the midst of his busy schedule, he has kindly consented to deliver the keynote address. On behalf of all the participants, on behalf of CMS College, on my personal behalf, I extend him a warm welcome. The guest of this program is you, the newcomers to this campus. Some of you might have studied in CMS College for UG programs. Some are in other colleges. We have 17 PG programs and about 320 students sought admission during this year. CMS has a long history of more than 2 centuries. So many great personalities are in the alumni list of CMS College all over the world. They created history. You are coming for creating history in CMS College. I welcome you all to this great institution. I congratulate the IQAC for arranging such a program, especially the coordinator, Dr. Joji Panikar. I welcome all the teaching staff and non-teaching staff to this program. I am thankful to the admission committee who supported me behind the curtain. My special thanks to the software team, Dr. Vibin Aib Thomas and Mr. Tinu Aib Thomas for their timely support and in the admission process. As you know, admission process is a tedious and tiresome work. A team of members who helped me in this process. They have done a wonderful job without even a single mistake. Since I will not get another chance for expressing my gratitude, I take this opportunity for that. I would like to thank and congratulate each and every one of the admission team, especially Dr. Amblipi Matthew, head of the Department of Mathematics, who served as the co-admission officer. I also thank Mr. Solomon Piley, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, Self-Financing, Professor Prisho Mariam Paul, Assistant Professor, Department of Biotechnology, Ms. Serena Thomas, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, Self-Financing, who served as the Assistant Admission Officers. Once again, I welcome all the persons who present here as well as who joined in this induction program online. I hope this 3-day induction program would be a fruitful one. Wish you all the best. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. A good leader is one with the capacity to encourage and empower others. CMS College is fortunate to be guided by one such man of vision and enterprise. Under his able leadership, we can see his vision getting translated into actions. It is indeed my pleasure to welcome our dear principal, Dr. Verghese C. Joshua, to deliver the presidential address.
respected chief guest of the day, Dr. K. Jayakumar IAS in his absence, Vice Principal of the college, Srimati Sini Rachel Matthew, Chief Admission Officer, Dr. Samkuti George, Dr. Joji John Panikar, IQC Director, Admission Officer, Dr. Ambali P. Matthew, Mrs. Anju Kurian, distinguished guest, my dear colleagues, and more importantly, my dear students and parents, good morning to all. I am so pleased to have the opportunity to address you today as you embark on what I hope will be an extraordinary valuable set of experiences at CMS College. I am saying so. What are the extraordinary valuable set of experiences that you are going to have in the coming 2 years? This is what I have to mention now, just for 10 minutes. The extraordinarily valuable set of experiences that you are going to have at CMS College in coming 2 years. As Dr. K. Jayakumar has mentioned in his inaugural address, you might have heard the college, CMS College, that you have chosen has a tremendous history and tradition. That is the most important, extraordinary, valuable experience that you are going to have here. The tremendous history and tradition. What are the history that, or why CMS College is historic? We are saying CMS College is the first college in India, established in 1817. It's not merely saying that it is the first college in India. Only the universities, the modern universities were established in India only in 1857, 40 years after the inception of CMS College. So what does it mean? Through CMS College, the concept of modern higher education or the concept of university system that we have seen now came to India. So you are becoming the part of an institution with this tremendous history and tradition. Then what else? You are going to have, or you are going to get the element of the rich heritage of CMS College. You are also the part of the rich heritage of CMS College. So the three important points that I should say, you are going to be the part of the tremendous history, tradition, and heritage of CMS College. What is a heritage? The heritage of CMS College starts with Cambridge and Oxford University. The concept of CMS College is in India is established almost in the same line with the Cambridge and Oxford. So our heritage started from there. So you are going to experience these three things, this tremendous history, tradition, and heritage. Now, I'm happy to see that you have found your way here to experience this tremendous history, tradition, and heritage. We are having a serene campus, a green campus, and outstanding infrastructure. And particularly for postgraduate section, a research-driven academic environment, because we have to foster a proactive learning environment for students. For those students who are looking for a well-rounded academic experience. At the same time, enhancing skills in all areas of higher education. My dear students, please be remembered, unlike the undergraduate program, the postgraduate program is a little bit challenging, as it will take you one step closer to the realization of your dream or your goal, or in fact, passion or ambition. So you are just one step away from the realization of your, that can be interpreted in different words. It can be your ambition, your goal, or your dream, whatever. Without a vision, or rather a long-term perspective, you won't be able to tackle your future. And remember, it won't happen overnight. It needs thinking, reflecting and connecting things, and being attracted and challenged by the present, and challenged by the present day problems, and by the uncertainties, in fact. A heavy toil and moil is required. That is what I am trying to explain. An inquisitive mind and the willingness to nurture the curiosity through systematic study and research will only help you to attain your dream or goal or your passion or whatever you do. A thoughtful intervention from the expert faculties that you are going to have here will help you tread this path in the most successful way. That is my wish. There is an implicit expectation in the academia for scholarly contribution to development and research from the postgraduate level. The need for research-oriented learning has gained rapid momentum in the higher education institution all around to improve the quality and output of postgraduate students. Let me not bombard you with advices and guidelines today. We had a very special guest as chief guest, Dr. K. Jayakumar. Now I thank Dr. K. Jayakumar for his motivating words, inspirational words. Let me conclude my address with 3 mantras that you should remember while you are spending your days in CMS College in coming 2 years. First one is definitely our motto, "Thy word is truth." And I feel one more, or I may add one more sentence to it. "Thy word is truth, and the truth let you free." That's the first mantra. Thy word is truth, and the truth let you free. Second is a mantra on which the rich tradition and the heritage of CMS College lie. Around BC through 350, that is around 2,300 years ago, the great Greek philosopher of Zeno said, "The ultimate aim of mankind is to live in line with the nature." The ultimate aim of our life is to live in line with nature. So that is the second mantra that I would like to give to my dear students now. Try to live in line with nature. And the third one is leave the place better than we found. I think CMS College is the first college in India which celebrated the first College Day celebrations in 1903. The chief guest of the day then was Professor Palmer, who had two masters, one from Oxford and one from Cambridge at that time, 1903, 110 years back. A great mind. The theme of the first College Day celebration of our college was this mantra: leave the place better than you found. So now you are entering to CMS College today. After 2 years, you may leave from here. So leave this place better than you found today your college. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those inspiring words. I hope our students will imbibe the mantras you shared with them. Our Vice Principal, Ms. Sunny Rachel Matthew, is an amalgam of passion, strength, and grace. An able support to the principal, a caring and understanding teacher and mentor, ma'am fulfills all the roles assigned to her in an efficient manner. It is my pleasure to welcome Sunny ma'am to offer words of felicitation.
Today is a day of pride. I speak to you, dear children. You are successful undergraduates. You are that hybrid batch that split your 3 years of undergraduate studies into 1.5 years of college learning and 1.5 years of homeschooling in a way. You are the batch that saw the greatest pandemic of all times come and cause fear and destruction amidst millions. And you are that batch that outlived all the odds and sailed successfully until you reached this threshold. Here, you stand on a high pedestal in an esteemed college of higher learning. Though we don't say it loud, I think all of us pray the same prayer at this point. Dear God, show us a peaceful, virus-free academic year where movement, speech, thought flows unrestricted, where to be free means real mobility, where one can walk, run, take off at our will. Higher learning crossed the thresholds of this temple of learning in 1959 when the British missionaries opened the CMS College portals to postgraduate programs. Growth does not happen overnight, nor does it happen in isolation. Albert Vivaldo would say, "We all have to do it together. There is a link that happens. My growth depends on others' growth around us. We can no longer take these steps by ourselves. we have created a synergistic community. We must take a step towards knowledge together. CMS took up this challenge long ago and still moves forward in synergistic symphony acquired through years of striving towards attaining perfection. We live in an age where information travels at rocket speed, where expectations from a person run high, where untiring activity is the watchword, where accountability is the norm, and where you are expected to empty yourselves in giving out the best. And remember to stay right on top, always give 100%, unless it is blood that you are donating. When expectations increase, the work pressure on us increases. But if we do our homework right, what we do will become history. Here, I quote from a few thinkers. From Abraham Lincoln, who says, "If I were given 6 hours to chop down a tree, I would spend the first 4 in sharpening my axe." When you gain and retain focus, work becomes worship and nothing can stop you. As Henry Ford says, obstacles are those frightful things that you see when your eyes move away from the goal. So, remain focused, because it is the end result that today's world judges. But for us, it is the path that we worked and walked on that matters, because as goes the saying, every job is a self-portrait of a person who does it. Autograph your work with excellence. Post-graduation is not a piece of cake. You have to tread your path, dear children, carefully but confidently, because, believe me, CMS, we stand together. One helps the other grow in CMS, and growth is inevitable for a student. You are a student, you have to keep moving forward until you capture your dream. So, my dear children, to welcome you into this great institution of learning, the IQAC cell, which is the Internal Quality Assurance Cell, with its director, Dr. Georgie John Panikkar, has arranged this induction program through which we record our joy and happiness in getting you as our students for the postgraduate program. Enjoy your stay here. You have a work-efficient, proactive, visionary leader as our principal, Dr. Varghese C. Joshua, who is ready with a well-oiled administrative system. You have a considerate management that buoys up CMS constantly. You have an excellent batch of teachers who are oriented both towards better teaching and research experience. You have a beautiful ambient campus. You have your youth and your health. You have a curriculum and co-curricular facilities that can help you emerge winners. Dear students, I stop by wishing you luck and the best of CMS College, because this is the only time your parents will pay money for you to stay, eat, work, enjoy, dance, sing, and do much, much more. So make the most of it. We will always be with you, guiding and supporting. And best of all, emerge as good human beings, because that is what matters the most. Dr. Jayakumar, IAS, your chief speaker for today, also banks by these ideals. He would say that in this rat race for power, information grabbing, grappling for the first and the best, what keeps us sane is our humaneness and our love for humanity. So, my dears, always walk that extra mile to be the rainbow in someone else's cloud. Thank you.
Thank you, Sini ma'am. I'm sure Sini ma'am, as always, would have assured you with her words. She would have made you feel at home in CMS. Please do fill in the Google form posted in the comment box to mark your attendance. A Google form is posted in the YouTube chat box. Please do fill it in to mark your attendance. Dr. Ambali P. Matthew served as the coordinator of the postgraduate admission program. Ma'am, with her commitment, inspired all others to keep duty first and to walk extra miles when it is necessary. We owe her for all the hard work and dedication that she has put in for the procedure to be successfully completed. Ma'am, I welcome you to deliver the vote of thanks.
Honorable Chief Guest of the Day, Sri K. Jayakumar IAS, in his absence, respected Principal Dr. Verghese C. Joshua, Bursar Reverend Cherian Thomas, Vice Principal Professor Sini Rachel Matthew, Chief Admission Officer Dr. Samkuti George, IQAC Coordinator Dr. Joji John Panikar, my colleagues, dear students and parents. Gratitude bestows reverence, allowing us to encounter everyday epiphanies, those transcendent moments of awe that change forever how we experience life and the world, said John Milton. Today, as you all step into this prestigious institution, I am sure you all will have such epiphanic moments to discover yourself. Today, I take the opportunity to put all my gratitude into words. On behalf of the CMS family, I would like to thank our Chief Guest Sri K. Jayakumar IAS for consenting to be the Chief Guest despite a busy schedule. Words and ideas can change the world, and we feel honored to listen to an eminent personality. We are all inspired by your comments. As Jayakumar sir said, we should be adventurous in our studies, and we should love our subject. Sir, indeed, your words will echo in the lives of these students. I thank Jayakumar sir in his absence. Our principal, Dr. Verghese C. Joshua, is a visionary, and he keeps reminding us about the need for being one. I take this opportunity to extend my heartfelt thanks to Joshua sir for all your guidance and also for the presidential address. Let us keep in our mind the 3 mantras our principal has delivered. I thank our Bursar Reverend Cherian Thomas, who graced us with his presence and guidance. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for Srimati Sini Rachel Matthew, our Vice Principal, for the thoughtful felicitation speech. Thank you, ma'am. I also extend my thanks to Dr. Samkuti George, Chief Admission Officer, for his support and also for the warm welcome speech. Thank you, sir. I thank all the parents for their presence this morning. No event can be successful without people who devote their resource and time to ensure that everything is flawless. A sincere word of gratitude to the pillars of the admission process, Bibin sir, who coordinated everything related to the admission process. Chinu sir, Rinsimis, our PG admission team members, Serena and Solomon from the Department of Commerce SF, and Prisho from the Department of Biotechnology. Our software division consisting of Marin Archana Shilka and the office staff for their enormous cooperation in the coordination of the admission process. A special thanks to all the new students who attended the induction. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to record our hearty thanks to the IQSC coordinator, Dr. Joji John Panikkar, and the entire IQSC team for the perfect logistic support and direction. Wishing you all a good day. Let me conclude. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambali ma'am, for the words of gratitude. CMS College has the capacity to permeate into the hearts and souls of students who enter its portals. As our chief guest, Jayakumar sir said, "May your eyes be fixed with the international frontier of your respective subjects. May you be able to break the fences to outgrow and transcend your own limitations, the limitations of the syllabus and the limitations of the system. I hope that the happiness of learning engulfs you and the urge to know more bothers you throughout your time here. May you see the sky, and we hope to kindle in you the desire to conquer it. As you learn and grow and equip yourselves to conquer your dreams, we promise to be with you. Welcome home once again, our dear children. As CMS unravels to you these days, I am sure you will fall in love with the people and the place. And as our principal said, try to leave it a better place than you enter it. I thank Dr. Joji John Panikkar and his team IQAC for making this program possible, for making you to be a step closer to CMS, to helping you to be a part of it already. The program will continue tomorrow, and we hope to continue our journey together. As we are coming to a close to today's session, let me remind you that we will resume our induction program tomorrow at 9:30 in the morning. We hope to see you all there. Thank you once again for being with us. Have a good day.